Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Hello there. This is Moletrap. And this is game 4. Game 4 of this best of 7 series between DuckloadRa and DIMAGA. And, so game 1. Oh man, you know, I cast those games this afternoon and I'm going to have to think a second to remember what happened in game 1. That's really strange. I can remember what happened in game 3 though. Game 3 was on Blistering Sands, and that was an amazing, amazing game. Major comeback by DIMAGA. DuckloadRa was all up in his base, force fielding his ramp to keep the Zerglings from running up and killing his army while he killed the main. DIMAGA killed his own rocks to... What's he going to do? Is he going to see? He sees the Nexus. Is he going to go all the way in? Apparently he's just going to run through. He's not going to try and hide his location by running his Overlord back. He's going to come up here and see what he can see at the front. Go and check out what's going on at this pylon. Watch the gateway go up and that kind of thing. Much smaller ramp on this map, by the way, although it looks like he's still probably going to do the same thing with the core here and block it with the Zealot like we see in DuckloadRa do pretty much every game. Anyway, so DIMAGA taking game 3. We just saw game 2, which DIMAGA also took. Just a long macro game. Actually, whoa. I just remembered that DIMAGA did a Baneling bust on game 1 also. So DIMAGA's up 3-0. Wow, okay. That changes my mind completely about this match. This means that this is do or die for DuckloadRa here on game 4. This is has to be won by him. Otherwise, he's going to lose this show match. By the way, again, I'm not doing this officially for them. SC2Vision.eu did their own cast of this actually. If you want to watch that, actually I don't know where it is. I found it before, but I don't know exactly where it is. Anyway, they were the ones to put on this show match, though, so I might as well give them the credit for that. And very exciting series here. Ooh, pylon your expansion. Pool coming down first, and if the Protoss scouts you first, you almost have to put your pool down first, actually, because otherwise, well, I mean, you can't wait for the hatchery. They're going to block your hatchery almost every time. Anyway, and it's kind of a common reaction as well by putting that pool down first if you can't get it down. Anyway, it looks like he's going to take out that pylon pretty quick though. It's not going to delay that hatch a terrible amount. So there you go. Anyway, so I'm really curious to see what DuckloadRa's going to pull out here. He's getting a second gas relatively soon. He's chrono boosting out a lot of probes. So he can make sure and let's see what's he doing. Yeah, no, okay, he's getting the warp gates. Okay, there's that stalker. Yeah, so he's basically doing the same thing that he has been every match. He might need to chrono boost that stalker out actually if these Zerglings try and put on some pressure. He could attack that gateway, and if the Zealot comes out to hit him, whoa, he's gonna fall back to that gap. Whoa, this is a little bit precarious for DuckloadRa. He needs to get that stalker out here pretty quick. I'm really worried about his rally actually. He needs to rally it. Where is he? Why is he rally it outside of the gateway instead of on the other side? That's really strange. Where it's gonna? How did that happen? That was really weird. Why? Maybe it was because the Zerglings were in front. It's spawned out here. That was really strange. Or maybe he changed the rally at the last second. But it looked like his rally point was out here. Very strange. Anyways, he's actually going to now turn and put some pressure back on DIMAGA. Now that he's got a stalker and a Zealot, he killed off those some of those Zerglings, and so it's going to be on DIMAGA now to defend a little bit. He's just gotten his second queen up. He's getting his creep tumor, so again, pretty much the same build here, but he doesn't really have anything to deal with this situation here. Just a single Zergling and a queen. We could actually see a quick victory from DuckloadRa here. If he's able to do a lot of damage with this group of units, just a very small group of units, with a couple Zerglings popping out. He needs to have some more Zerglings. 10 Zerglings en route. A couple actually get in the way. Queen survives. Queen manages to get up the ramp, and these Zerglings are going to plenty take care of these units. Actually, well, not on creep. They're going to have a hard time. He might be able to pick off that. Yeah, he's going to pick off that Zealot who turns around to buy his stalker a little bit more time to run away. And putting up an expansion. Ooh, that's kind of ballsy there. He's gotten warp gates up. He's got a third warp gate now. He's putting down a lot of sentries. I think that's a good move, putting down those sentries. Get them out early. There's not quite enough Zerglings that he needs to, really get some Zealots down to block. So getting those sentries out, they're going to be pretty effective in blocking off this smaller number of Zerglings because I think he knows that DIMAGA has to drone up after that attack. you know, he needs to drone up at that point. Baneling nest going down. Very interesting. Anyway, morphing his lair at the natural expansion as well, by the way, interestingly enough. Possibly to get more hit points out of it. The hatcheries are 1,500 hit points now, but I don't know how much the lairs are, but they're a little bit more. I think they're... well, we'll find out in a moment. Anyway, so yeah, White making those sentries early so that they can save up energy, and then getting the meat troops out afterwards. So there we go. Lair is 2,000. Is that, yeah, 2,000 hit points there, so an extra 500. So that makes a lot of sense because White you know, put on some pressure in game 3 and almost took out his expansion. If he wanted to, he probably could have taken out the expansion. Instead, he went into the main. But White has been putting on a lot of pressure in all these games, actually. Not a lot, but some pressure, at least in all these games. So makes sense to put that extra HP there just in case. And anyway, so White now has his expansion going. He's starting to build up his army. He's got, let's see, how many warp gates here? Just the 3 warp gates still. And there we see another gateway. So again, White sticking with sort of low tech. Low tech, where are these banelings? I see banelings morphing. Uh-oh. Banelings are morphing. This small army is kind of moving out here. He's got a probe alongside so he can build a pylon somewhere nearby. The probe, I'm not sure where the probe's going, actually. Kind of just chilling in the main there. But DIMAGA has been doing a lot better with the creep tumors this game, so he's got a lot of creep around. Well, a little bit better, I guess I should say. Anyway, lots of creep on the ground. This pylon's going to have to be a little bit far back. Moving with a large army, though. Here comes the banelings and the zerglings coming in from behind. He's already used some of the force fields. Force fields keeping most of those banelings out, but no! They do manage to land, but those force fields are keeping the zerglings from surrounding these units. They're holding off a little bit longer, and the zealots in the gap there holding out, keeping White alive in this series. More zerglings streaming in, though. Transfusion going down on both those queens, helping each other out, keeping both of those alive so the zerglings can get in a little bit closer to those stalkers. More stalkers coming in to reinforce, but I think this attack is going to go down here. No, more zealots coming in from behind. They might be able to save those stalkers from those zerglings. The queen's going to have to fall back as well. Just a few zerglings coming in. This is a very low econ sort of pressure-based attack here, and oh no. Banelings being morphed from those zerglings. I guess he wants the banelings to deal with the zealots. The banelings are going to be better against the zealots, but they're not quite going to be as effective against the stalkers. But there's no sentries critically, so it's going to make them a lot more effective in general. Here they come. Oh, so many banelings blowing up on just those 2 zealots, but he does get a couple banelings in that group. Does a lot of damage to those stalkers. Now the stalkers are a little bit softened up. If he can get some zerglings in the mix now, it'd be big. But oh, White is just doing so much damage. In the meantime, he's picking off all kinds of drones right now. Yeah, he's picking off tons and tons of drones. White pulling way ahead in economy. Just huge income, and White just rallying more forces here. These zerglings getting a nice surround on that sentry, able to kill these 2 zealots as well. There they go, but it just might not be enough here. These stalkers are just doing so much damage over time that he just hasn't quite been able to kill them off. And look at this, he's just barely... Okay, 18 zerglings are on the way. This is going to be his last hope, is for all those zerglings to pop out and for all of them to dive in at once. And there's GG coming from DIMAGA, who was trying to sneak an extra hatchery over here, by the way, but just too much pressure. Just 5, actually this one was just morphing in, it looks like. 4 warp gates, just constantly rallied, and a really nicely macroed game by White as I show his full nexuses, actually. But, you know, he had 4 warp gates. That's kind of what, well, he probably could have supported more. That's why he was getting his 5th up. But still putting a lot of pressure on, and just constantly just shoving units down DIMAGA's throat until he couldn't take it anymore. And that's pretty much what it came down to. So beautifully played, very nice pressure build there, and despite the cool banelings going in there, White takes game 4, so he's still in the series. I'm going to go ahead and move on to game 5, and again, I think I said this at the beginning too, but if there's more games, then I will be putting anti-spoilers up. So, or if there's not more games, I mean, if I find out that that DIMAGA wins the next one or something like that. I don't know how many games there are, actually. I have a suspicion, but I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that game. Thanks very much for watching. Let's go see if White can continue to possibly dig his way out of a 3-0 deficit in this best of 7 show match.